How's it going, everybody? My name is LC and today we are here with another Marvel Mystic Mayhem video. I do want to apologize for the little gap between uploads. I've honestly just been taking a break, like mental health wise, focusing on me finally for once. And it does feel good, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But yeah, that is basically why the uploads have been kind of not as frequent, but I'm gonna try and get back into the groove. Which I will obviously, but here's the thing though, with Marvel Mystic Mayhem, back, like the second beta is officially over. The Marvel Mystic Mayhem portion of the channel will, like in terms of content, it will slightly decrease just until like we get more news or like official release dates, you know, concepts, things like that, right? So it's gonna take like not a screeching halt, but like you will see the decrease in content in terms of that. I'll try to keep it alive as much as I can, but there's no guarantees of like it'll be like a daily thing, but that's totally fine. We're gonna find some other different avenue to take. But today's video is honestly a discussion video per se, so we're gonna go over some of the feedback or the community feedback from the beta testers that got to play the second beta test of Marvel Mystic Mayhem from the Discord, because you have a section where other players do give their feedback and whatnot. So we're gonna go through that, but we're not gonna do it on the Discord because I don't know with any stipulations like showing, like, you know, that kind of, it's kind of private, right? You don't really want to like show that on YouTube. It's kind of, you know what I mean? I don't want to like get like no problems or anything like that. So I don't want to have any problems or anything like that. So I'm just gonna keep it like on like this main screen here. I'm gonna like obviously flip through and like kind of like break it down by using this main Marvel Mystic Mayhem screen. But I'm gonna read to you like what some people have said. I'm not gonna say their names, of course. One of the main feedbacks that I've actually heard about from this beta test was the fact about the pull rates kind of being altered. When the first beta test commenced, the pull rates weren't as quote unquote bad, but then again, it's a beta, right? So like you're gonna get most things either like, you know, quote unquote for free, or like the pull rates could be better. But at the time of the second beta, people have complained like, oh, the pull rates of pulling characters or like highlights haven't been great. And I want to be in the middle, because like I know that this second beta test was mainly for economic things, so they want to test out like how the monetization system of the game works. They want to see like how people resonate with the system, of course. And obviously, as of right now anyway, not everyone is entirely enjoying that, you know what I mean? But again, I kind of can see why people would be upset about that, because it's not entirely fair to them, even though it is, again, a beta test, right? It's not like you're really wasting anything per se, but like you're gonna feel shafted and you don't really want that. There was one person who did say, I'm just gonna read from the comment, I'm not gonna like say their name or anything. My suggestion is for a hard pity line, where if you say you want 100 pulls from the banner and you still haven't gotten the rate up hero villain, your next pull at 101, you get that hero / villain. Honestly, I do agree with that, because when the beta was out, at least when I played, you know, the alpha and beta, there is a pity after like I think 75 summons, and you could choose between either character or, you know, highlight. But the problem is, not problem per se, but you don't really get the character you want if you select the character. You just get like a 3-star character, which, to be fair, a lot of games kind of do have that system where like you pick the character you want, and like their chances of getting pulled is higher, but you don't really get that option in this game, right? You just get the character option, like, hey, you can either choose between character or highlight. There's no like you could choose this character in this character section or highlight in that highlight section, right? So I think like, yeah, like if you pull it say like 100 times and you haven't got the character you wanted, that 101th like character that you want, you should be able to get, right? I do agree with that in terms of the pity. Moving on, another suggestion was energy requirement in ratio to rewards is underwhelming. With that slow to no character growth, doing the same with like 3 times a day. I like Marvel, enjoyed playing the first week, but there are too many competitors for me to stay and use my free time. So I kind of think there's 2 comments in that. There's like 2 points to make note of anyway. The energy thing, I do kind of feel that to a degree, like there is like a hard cap on like where you can like kind of like push yourself in the game, because like there comes a point where like, hey, this kind of does feel not pay to win, but like you kind of need to grind more basically, right? And there will be people who obviously, you know, pay to get resources in game and get a level up, get a foot ahead and stuff like that. So that's always going to be a thing in any kind of game like this. but I even like made note of that during like this is like during the alpha. Like I made note of this like way back when. Couldn't say anything at the time, but now I can. Like when you first kind of play the game, they changed it now, but like way back when, like you hit a plateau quick, like you just like hit a like a bottleneck this instantly. And again, it seems that that issue is still there, but like it happens a little bit later on in game, which again, it makes sense. I mean, it's good that happens later in game, but like you don't really want that feeling, because like again, you don't want to feel like you're just stuck and you can't do anything. You move like inch by inch per day. You don't really want that. You know what I mean? It's not really a good feeling for the average player or the average free-to-play player. Regarding the second comment, I like Marvel. I enjoyed playing for the first week, but there are too many competitors for me and to use my free time. Honestly, that's one of the things like about this, like just gaming in general. Like there are going to be people who have more time than you and like can put in more resources than you. Unfortunately, like that's just kind of how it's structured. Like not every free-to-play player is going to have, you know, the best time, because, you know, again, it's your free time, right? What you're paying with is your free time compared to the paid-win players. They're paying with their money, so it's like you kind of have to sacrifice something. You know what I mean? I just realized this screen has been stuck the whole time. Let me at least click on like different things to at least like make it seem like, you know, it kind of goes back and forth. Another suggestion that I actually do find pretty interesting is I just have one suggestion which could give this game a lot of replayability. It would be great to have a live PvP mode where all participants, I think 1v1 first, but maybe even 2v2 at some point, engage in a battle. But we have the possibility to control our skills and ultimate. Since it's live, selecting a skill wouldn't pause the game. Instead, you must cast a skill accurately and fast, since the player, or the other player, excuse me, will be doing the same. I hope you take this in consideration. Honestly, I don't see that as a bad idea. I think they could make that work, because whether you, I guess, play live or not, like the cards you cast are pretty quick, right? And you have to do them pretty quick. Like you can do that. I think that could honestly work. I don't think that could not, unless they want to do it like turn based, but like I don't think that's a necessarily good idea, because like your characters will obviously be fighting, but like if you say, hey, okay, this, I don't know, I feel like, yeah, the way the user already like mentioned it, I think that like real-time PvP, like they both do it at the same, like both opponents, or like maybe 2v2, I think that works perfectly fine. You know what I mean? Like they can both do it at the same time. You just have to be active and like paying attention in game to do that. But like, yeah, I don't think that'd be a really bad idea. I think they could honestly make that work. Again, turns, I don't think that would be a good idea. I think that would kind of like make the match kind of boring in a way, because like it'll be, think of like Dragon Ball Legends, right? Imagine like it was more like no, not really turn based, but like think of it like how you attack like with their cards given to you, and like the player has to react to certain things, right? Imagine like it was just like, oh, you use like your cards and then you have to wait until the next person uses their cards. Like it's just, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be kind of time consuming. But honestly, PvP or real-time PvP be pretty cool. Here's a different suggestion. In a hero upgrading screen, I find the gray background very boring. It would be cool to have a proper, perhaps brighter, nightmarish setup behind the characters. Maybe something brighter for heroes and darker for villains, or a slight color change between legendaries and rarities. Yes, I do agree, kinda. Like I get the gray theme, and honestly I think it's cool, and like how you can like kind of showcase the character, like the camera setting within like the whole character menu screen. I like that, but I get why the gray is kind of boring, right? It's kind of just, it's kind of dull. You kind of do want something more, but it's like, what else? What can you? Well, there's stuff you can do, but like I can't really think of it right now. But I do think like the legendary characters kind of should have something to like identify them as, hey, these guys are for sure legendaries. Like you can obviously tell because I think the gold around them, most of them anyway. But like maybe some other like, I don't know, maybe like things like around their card or like other things like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, like aesthetically, I understand what this person is saying. I think that maybe tweak the grayish. I don't know. We could make it brighter, or we can change the color. Like maybe, like let's say, I don't know, maybe like if it's like a legendary character, you can use like a gold set, or gold background, excuse me, or rare, like purple, you know, things like that. Or if you want to do heroes and villains, you can, but like it's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of iffy. But yeah, a different change of background wouldn't be bad. Okay, now this is a take that honestly is interesting, I'm just gonna read it out and you tell me what you guys think. I don't know how to feel about it. So this user says, personally, I see no difference in the 2-star and 3-star heroes in terms of gameplay and animations. It's just kind of fair to say. There's nothing that sets them out to be different than the 2-star heroes than a gold border. Not sure if this is intentional game design or not, but personally, it doesn't provide incentive to pull for the heroes if they're just limited heroes. So as a suggestion, maybe you could only make the 3-star heroes be the only ones with animated ultimates. I don't know. I don't like. I agree with the first half. Like I guess the differences with the 2-3-star heroes. There's not much difference between them other than I can't speak today. There's not much difference between them other than like I guess the gold border per se. Maybe like some kit stuff. But I don't think you should get rid of the animations for the characters because that's what makes them unique, right? Like if you gotta scrap away the 2-stars ultimates, then it's like yeah, it kind of like just takes the person to me anyway. It takes away the personality from the characters, right? So maybe not that, but I do agree with like the 3-stars do need something to like make them stand out. To like hey, these guys are worth your bang of your buck, right? Which I think that's kind of what they kind of started to do with Emma Frost because her kit's honestly broken. Like it should not be a thing, but like it needs kind of more. Maybe like in terms of aesthetics, I don't know. I don't know what could you do with that though. That's the thing. Like it's either like you change up their kit to like where it's you don't want it to be too broken, but like you want it to be really good. But like what can you do? You know what I mean? Maybe like I don't know. Like what can you do with about that? Like maybe some characters get skins or like I don't know. Like that's such a hard thing. Like how I'm not a game dev. I wouldn't know. How do you make a 3 or legendary star character like worth their while? Like how do you make it seem like these guys are worth getting other than like the whole gold border thing, right? Because again, in terms of like aesthetic and animation wise, they're all essentially the same. They all have animations, things like that. I don't think you should separate animations from 2-stars, but like there should be something for 3-stars that like give them that extra flavor that'll make them like stand out to the average player, right? What that could be, I don't know. Actually, I kind of think I might know. I kind of have an idea. Maybe like their skill cards, maybe like they're actually animated, like the cards that show up on the side of the screen. Maybe they're actually animated to like move up and down. You know what I mean? Like so instead of being like a stale image in their card, maybe actually it moves. Or I don't know. See, this is hard. This is why I'm not a game dev. But honestly, like this is a good suggestion. But like this is something that would like really make like the gears turn in their head. I think in terms of like making them think like how do we expand on 3-stars and make them better, right? Because again, I agree that like there's not much difference in terms of like how they're set up because every character has ultimate, every character has basically essentially the same thing. You're just different characters and different kits, but it's like you know what I mean. You don't want to like drift away too from that. I don't agree with the whole like taking away animation from 2-star characters because that's kind of that's crazy. But like I guess something else to make it seem. Oh, actually, yeah, maybe the character portrait of the character, maybe make that animated, right? So like they could or like 3D, whatever you want, like just make it like moving. So like that's something I guess artistically anyway. And lastly, we're going to do one more. I actually do think I agree with the last part of this take. Pulling for characters is not rewarding at all. Not only are there multiple things to upgrade at once, whilst not being able to easily acquire the materials needed for those upgrades due to highly restrictive time constraints when grinding, but it is already hard enough when the timing of not being able to get 3-stars for materials doesn't match up with a level requirement for the next stage up. All of this is hard enough, and yet it requires multiple character pulls to upgrade their individual soul sagas on top of the high variance already in the Dreamweaver. Phew, it's not the last part yet. I suggest that when upgrading soul sagas, it should only require 1 duplicate per upgrade. That is what I agree on, and that is something I've been like thinking in my head, but I just never like vocalized it. The soul sagas, you should not have to pull them characters like 3 times just to get like one like soul saga into the character, right? That it should not take that long to do it. I think 1, maybe even 2 dupes per like soul saga is fine, but I think 1's probably the standard because there's 3 sides per I guess upgrade, I guess, then plus the soul at the back, that's 7. You would have to pull the character if you only needed 1 dupe per soul saga thing. You need technically 8 copies to max out a character. In this game, however, it doesn't work like that. You need more copies just to get one side, like one portion of a side in the Soul Saga. So like you have to pull them like, man, I don't know, like maybe 20 times. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot. So I think decreasing the amount of dupes you need to like max out your character is honestly needed, because that it's honestly detrimental. Because just think about it, if someone wants to wail on this game and they can barely max out a character, it's just not going to make them want to spend money. Let's just be real. I'm not going to unless they have costumes in the game. That's a whole different discussion. But like, you know what I mean? Like it's just going to kind of take away from I guess feeling like rewarded, I guess, in my opinion. But yeah, just going back to what they said, pulling for characters is not rewarding at all. I kind of do. I feel that to a degree. Like it does feel nice pulling a 3-star, but it's iffy. And 2 stars too. But like whenever I get armor, I'm excited, right? But it's like the extra added perks to her from the Soul Sagas is like they'll be even great. But like I can barely use that because you need so much dupes to get it. And don't even get me started on like the character ascension stuff. Like I forget what it's called, but like you guys know what it is. It's like those different, it's like yellow, purple, and like blue like character ascension materials. So like you can actually upgrade the star level of the characters. So, like if they're 2 stars, you can put 3, 3 to 4, and more and more. 3 to 4 and so on. But like it's so hard to get those, and I guess it makes sense. Like if if they're going like from 4 to 5, then I guess it makes sense. But like from going to 2 to 3, it takes. I don't think I did one character to like I got them from like 2 to 3, like in terms of a hero ascension. It took forever. Like it was hard. So like I hope they change something with that too. But this is just the community feedback. The devs will answer the questions that they do see fit when the time comes. So it could be either this week, maybe next week. Who knows, right? Only time will tell. But when it comes out, I will be sure to let you guys know, and I will keep you guys updated on anything that comes out. But I do want to know, what do you guys think of the second beta test? How did you guys feel about it? And if there are any concerns that you guys have with the game, let it be known in the comment section below, because I do want to read them and give my thoughts on it as well. With that being said, thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing day. God bless, and I'll catch you all in the next Marvel Mystic Mayhem video.